Thanks for coming to the Grad Club. Really appreciate it.
Pretty happy to roll up to this place any chance I get.
Have you come to the Grad Club for a very long time?
I probably came here when I went to Queens occasionally, but more so like living in Kingston, coming to see shows. And because you would and still do put on the best shows in town, right? So this is like coming to a house concert, except it's amplified and you can drink beer and it's wonderful. Like I just love coming here to see shows. And then I've played a bunch of shows here too. Like we've done a few where
Definitely.
It's just pre-album release or a Christmas benefit show or whatever. It's always like a very comfortable place to come and play.
Do you have any favorite memories of any concerts that you've come to at all?
I remember seeing recently, like in the last couple of years, seeing Hannah Georges, and I hadn't been to a show in a while, and she was playing, I think she had a small band with her, but it was just, everybody was packed in and so quiet, and so, it was like, I remember standing in the crowd listening to her beautiful voice and her beautiful songs and just thinking like, this is like group meditation in a way. Like, nobody's distracted, everybody's kind of, all eyes are facing the same way. We're all kind of in this same experience together. It was really intimate and really moving. And then there's nights that I don't remember as well. I think you were reminding me of one,
yes.
Which was a Christmas holiday rock show. Like Weeping Tile has put on a Christmas show pretty much every year for 20-something years. So we would move it around the city, like different venues, just to partly remember every year, like, oh, that was when it was at the Elixir, that's when it was at AJ's, and
many
at the Grad,
years.
and then we did the Grad Club, and we did a matinee show and an evening show, and you were reminding me about Bruce Coburn coming to the door, and
it's such a good memory,
and us insisting that his access was required him to play a song because it was sold out, and he did.
He did it.
Yeah, because at the time he was living locally. He was living up in Camden East, so. This is
That's
This is the kind of Cheers bar, It was like, Bruce, hey.
Bruce. Yeah, no, that was a very special memory for me too, was having Bruce humbly get up on stage so he could actually get admission to the Grad Club was pretty amazing and pretty special.
A con all the way. You were her latest campaign. Who knew how low they flew? Cowbirds in the neighborhood. A star with a loom, they'll take you home eventually. He knows he shouldn't, but he kinda misses them. I almost said you heard of Stockholm Syndrome, but it's a bit too soon for that. He didn't want to get pushed around, but he couldn't seem to find the words to say it. Thought he was doing a favor when the chips were down and they would be good to repay. We didn't want to get too involved. Booze was in the air when he'd come over. He would knock on the door with some nothing to ask. He was just needing a shoulder. Who knew how low they flew? Cowbirds in the neighborhood. A star with a loom, they'll take you home eventually. He knows he shouldn't, but he kinda misses them. I almost said you heard of Stockholm Syndrome, but it's a bit too soon for that. Now they're in another city, and they're down another road. Well, you think this place looks sleepy, but it's wilder than you know. They'll be out looking for a new home. You should know. They'll be out looking for a new home. You should know.
Once again, I'm just going to say thanks for coming and partaking in this great little series that we're having.
Totally. Anytime.
And it's always a pleasure.
Long live the Grad Club.
Yeah, long live the Grad Club is right. Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I see twinkling in the window, it's a sparkle on the snow, hovering to see if I can see you. Come and go, I came down the dark road, arms under my coat, and my breath is nearly freezing, my eyes closed. The car that dropped me off, well, did it turn around and watch me walk the long way down past the glow of town like a setting sun, horizons alive with electric light and hum. Were you standing in the greeting card aisle when you called me up and held me to the end of your long line? Have you got me in your bleeding heart file next to Lady Luck? Well, this light of your life has drawn the blind. There was something about the handwriting that made me keep every scrap, something about the way the eyes looked away. At the last I've kept something burning on the sill real low, but now I don't know where you're standing in the greeting card aisle when you called me up and held me to the end of your long line. Have you got me in your bleeding heart file next to Lady Luck? Well, this light of your life has drawn the blind. Like a scream and wrap itself round you, and there may be a friend somewhere down the road, but from here you have to walk it out alone. Alone, 'cause you were standing in the greeting card aisle when you called me up You've got me in your bleeding heart file next to Lady Love.